What's good with y'all? What's good with y'all, man? Well, it's your boy Hyman, and I'm back again with another video. So, in today's video, I just want to have a simple breakdown of how I took a trade, clean, clean 102, 103 trade on the NAS based on pre-London volume. Based on pre-London volume, that's how I took a trade. By the way, never mind. I'm a bit Never mind. I'm a bit sick. I think I caught some flu and the nigga in the bedroom too loud. But without further ado, let's just continue to put in work and trust ourselves. So looking at the NAS from the 4H, we anticipated that price needs to at least pull back in and around some of those zones before we can have a continuation move to the downside. So now price reacted early. Price had an early reaction of the very same zone, with price now giving us this indecision candle in a big candle move to the downside, in a big candle anticipating a positive continuation to the downside for our pre-London session. For our London session, I mean, this is based on pre-London volume. I repeat, pre-London volume before me. So looking at the 1H, because that's where everything was. We now obviously saw on our Asian session price having a continuation in a push to the downside. So now with that said, I printed this high and anticipated that like we have a high and we have a low. With that said, we obviously waited for what? For a break of this high, for continuation to the upside of this level before we can continue moving to the downside. But now price reacted with a breakout, with a breakout, price reacted with a what? Breakout and break back in. You feel me? So with this candle, this 4 a.m. or 4 a.m. when I woke up, I saw this candle and anticipated that, like, you know what, we're gonna have a positive, we're gonna have a continuation to the downside. So with that said, I've obviously waited for what the pre-London volume, which it was now 7 a.m. The market opens 9 a.m. in Southern Africa, by the way. We saw this engulfing candle, this pre-London candle, and this London. And also we had 2 hours of our pre-session, which it was 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. You understand? So with that bear engulfing, with the bearish engulfing candle close on our 8 a.m. candle for the next 4-hour candle, we saw now price rejecting rejecting to the downside, and now I headed toward the 15-minute time frame. So from the 15-minute time frame, obviously saw now price had some sort of a support. Price printed some sort of a support zone on that very same zone, and obviously we had what? A breakout. I waited for retest and I waited for what? Confirmations that we are having a break and a retest for continuation to the downside. So this is what I do every time, every day. This is what I wake up to do. I look at the daily time frame, I head to the 4 hour, and I head to the 1H, and I head to the 15 minute, and that's it. So heading down to the 4H once again, the 4 hour gave us some sort of an indecision candle and a bear engulfing candle. We had an indecision candle and a bear candle pre-London. This is pre-London volume. Everything I say, it's based on the pre-session before we took a trade on our trading session. So obviously you had this bear engulfing candle. I headed to what? The 1H. I saw now price was rejecting that zone. Price closed strongly bearish on that zone and broke out and tried having a retest and tried having a break back in, but price wasn't strong enough. We obviously had a what? We obviously had a what? A break and a retest for continuation to the downside. and I had to head to what the 15-minute time frame because that's where everything was based on. So price broke out, we had a retest and a bay candle. This was my entry. This candle was my entry. As soon as this candle traded below this rejections, this week rejections, this 2 week rejections, if you guys can see, those 2 week rejections. Once price traded below those rejections, I took an entry based on price having what? Having bay momentum on our pre-London. That was it. You understand? Took a clean 1 or 2 trades, 58 pips, which was like a 58 pip. But my overall TP was on this very same zone, but I couldn't wait for it. I just took it as soon as I saw that like prices kind of like having in a rejection of that zone. So that's it. I repeat, for H, I saw a bay candle pre-London. For H, bay candle. 1H, break of intraday zones. 15-minute, waited for a retest and a bay candle for that momentum, and it took a continuation trade to the downside. So that's how I took a trade on the NAS, and that's how we got to take trades on the NAS. So for continuation move to the downside, that's simply when for price to break this this low for continuation to the downside, or for price to pull back to this very same zone to give us some sort of a double top. Thus, an upcoming dead for continuation move to the downside on the NAS. So on the NAS, that's what I see. That's how I took a trade, and that's why I took that trade. So I was like, after I took my take profit, I was like, you know what? Let me just take this to YouTube. I know someone needs to learn something from this, or someone needs to take something from what I took. You follow me? So yeah, this is not much. My session will end from here. I know this might be the shortest video I've ever took, but yeah, let's have a profitable week. Let's have a productive one. Let's have a confident boosting one. A happy one, and a money making week. Without further ado, it's a boy once again. Holla. If you ain't live trading with Holla, who the fuck is it doing? Good. That's all I got on this video. Peace.